Welcome everyone, Simon here from the Wells of Wall Street. We have Zilliqa on the video today. Before we go into the chart and see the development of that, let's just have a quick overview of the last few weeks of Zilliqa. So as we covered a multitude of times, Metropolis has been a big topic for Zilliqa for some time now, relating to their metaverse project. So Metropolis is the name of that for those that didn't know. And they had basically the event on the 2nd of April, 2-3 days ago. And this is what really kind of maybe a week or two before started the big spike in Zilliqa's price on the charts. And of course, the event has happened. And like I said, we'll reflect on that in more detail on the chart soon anyway. But I'm really interested in this. I mean, obviously I couldn't really see any more videos or photos of this massive event in Miami, particularly for Zilliqa's launch here. Maybe that was because they didn't want people showcasing that live kind of thing. But yeah, for sure, metaverse in general is massive. I mean, look at this. Citibank announced last week that the metaverse is going to be an $8 trillion to $13 trillion business opportunity by 2030. And this element here, so companies need to act now, and with Metropolis they can. This is also arguably a message to retail investors and investors in general that if you thought you were late to the pie, you're considerably wrong. It's so early, all these projects. And VR in particular is still taking off properly. But this is more interesting to me is the XR ability, the mixed reality, as a mix really of like virtual reality, AI, machine to machine learning, AI in general, and a bit of AR as well. But as technology develops, I'm not talking out my rear end here. These things are coming. Chipsets within us, or indeed retina displays that fit on front of our eyes, kind of like contact lenses, are very much in development. And these smartphones we have are just a stepping stone for us to get used to a digital environment, apps and things like this. And eventually, you'll just be walking around. You see information real time. You'll see adverts based on your behaviors, based on who you are, based on your historic data of digital footprints, as it were. Really, really exciting. And of course, Web3 is a word, or indeed a mixture of words mixed together a lot recently. Basically the development of the existing internet that we kind of know very well for the last, I would say, 15 to 20 years. Of course, before that was very much just basic, sending a message or an email if you could possibly, to now being Web 2, very heavily involved in social media in the latter stages, and the development of how we communicate, how we utilize websites, read and write. Web 3 takes us to that next level, and for sure the metaverse is going to be a huge part of that, and Zilliqa is very much behind that as well, technologically advancing themselves in that area. So it's really exciting to see these continuous developments for Zilliqa. And the Metropolis is very interesting in general as well. But yeah, other than that, there's nothing major to discuss. I think the main narratives really were around Zilliqa. Had a good little audience there, which is nice to see. An even better picture there. It's a very nice arena, whatever that is. It's absolutely fantastic. Here's maybe a couple of videos in relation. Graphics wise, don't get massively excited right now. Okay, this is very early development stages. You can imagine like in 10-15 years time, when we use Web3 correctly, we're talking about things, the ability of like computers and laptops or whatever to be able to share each other's processing power when we're not using it. This is a big fundamental factor of how metaverses can actually work in terms of the power and server needs in the background, and graphic processing and things like that. So this is very early stages, but it's that meme is always one of my favorite memes. So yeah, of course, guys, let's keep an eye on this. The roadmap's pretty genius as well. So we've got a few things coming up throughout the year. The development of the team is going to be really interesting to me to see who they bring in to continue the growth pattern of Metropolis and ultimately, of course, Zilliqa in general. And I do wonder as well, ZIL is something I accumulated, fortunately, for free when staking ZIL over the last couple of years. It doesn't do it anymore, unfortunately. But I'd be interested to see the ZIL application. I know that's more of a gas fee for the network, but I do wonder if they'll use that in the Metropolis features as well. And this is where I'm interested, like next year's development probably. But like I said, very early. I mean, I've got one follower now on the Medium article in particular. But yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting to see this grow, and it's really exciting to watch it arguably from the beginning. Like if you're watching these kind of videos now, or you're finding out about Zilliqa and Metropolis now, you're extremely early. You're like right at the beginning. So how exciting is that? So that's something to think about for sure. Let's jump into the chart, guys, and do also, of course, make sure that you smash that like button and subscribe if you have not done so already. We're nearly on 6,000. It would have been a bit quicker had I used to do as many videos as I used to, but works very, very strong right now. Yeah, I'm in this space constantly 24/7, so it's one of those things. But yeah, guys, let's just quickly take a look at the chart. So what we've seen, as we mentioned earlier in this video, this big tail up. This is when roughly the announcement of Metropolis came out. Very exciting. People, like they did in November, excited about metaverse situations. I did have some Zilliqa in the exchange, which I purchased down at this area that I hadn't transferred across yet. So I did take advantage of this. We'll talk about that a bit more in a second. But as you know, majority of my Zilliqa tokens are sat in the Zilliq wallet, or one of the native wallets, as a kind of Chrome extension kind of thing. I'll show you that in a video. I think we're going to put that out in 2 days' time. So for those that did accumulate Zilliqa or are looking to accumulate on this way down and take advantage of some long-term profits from staking, you will probably be interested in that video. It's actually quite simple, really, even if you're new to crypto and stuff, how to do it. So we'll definitely walk through the different options for that. But back to this chart right now, absolutely flew up 437% roughly from these points here back in the end of March. So literally only 2 weeks ago, if that, maybe less than 2 weeks. Absolutely crazy moves. People were asking me about Zilliqa when it got to 10, 12 cents. I said, well, yeah, absolutely, probably still opportunity, but just be cautious. You know, we don't know where the top will be and how much excitement this can push up and up. Of course, we hit up to 23 cents. So we went from around 3.74 cents up to 22, I think 23 cents. Absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely brilliant. We're on the come down because the announcements happened, the launches happened, and then people were taking the profits. And it's like, buy the rumor, sell the news. I mean, it wasn't really a rumor. We knew about it coming, but it's the same kind of principle, really. People were excited and took that ride up for sure. We're on the way down. We've got this buy area in here. We've just hit the first stage today on the way down, just with my bag that I sold up here on the way back down. And I put this in here just to show that we're currently around about 40% on the drop down at the moment. So very good area of almost that kind of double down position. We do have a lower region here just towards the lower region of this area in terms of like nearer the 10 cent mark. In fact, I might drag that down slightly less. So the reason I put these two areas in, one is because of this area back here in September and some nice volatility areas around here in April and June. This would indicate that we were going to potentially see some resistance on the way down. Could it be that Zilliqa identifies itself as something that wants to support now moving forward above 10 cents? But first of all, to get down to that 10 cents level, we need to do some incremental stages. So we've seen that over the last few days. But what's interesting and critical to understand is the key data points from the back end here. So that's why we had the buy-in area at this top first one. And that's why I waited to do the video to today to show you that occurring. And the second one will be down here, purely, again, similar reasons of these nice volatility points along the path here. So it could be that we might see a bit of a bounce off area, and look at the fib retracement levels just around here at 12.6. There could be some proper resistance around this area, and we might see a bounce up, but I'd be quite surprised if we didn't come and test these lower areas, because you have to be realistic right now. Yes, Metropolis is exciting. Yes, Zilliqa is exciting, but to go from 3 cents and then stick ourselves and stay up here is a big, massive achievement if they do it. But yeah, I'm inclined to believe that we are coming down to these areas to test them. If it comes down lower, we're looking at lower areas again of maybe like 8.7 cents and arguably back down here to test back these levels at 6 cents. That's quite a long-term thing in a few weeks' time if that's to happen. But I'm more excited around this area, taking the dollar cost average positions on the way down, because you just don't know what's going to happen. I'm not immediately saying we're definitely coming down to these areas. What I'm saying is we're in a downward trend because of obvious reasons, and we've got to take positions where we can. This is all I can do. This is, no one can predict what's happening to an extent. The only other things we can do is look at some extra data in the sense that we've had the big overpurchasing. We're probably going to see a mirrored effect. That's what's indicating to me why we might come back down to these areas. And the RSIs themselves are so high. We're at these lower regions back here, and then wham, all the way up. And this was beautiful because I took them just around the 90 RSI on the 14 day, because I knew like 2 weeks ago it was way lower. I think it was back here is like 30 or something in February, but even back in the middle of March it was around 37 to 40. So in my head I was like, that's immediately a double position, take out some initial or what I could from the exchange that I had ZIL held in. So we had this big jump up as well on the MACD, the blue line just going over here. It's way too big, way too big. This needs to correct itself, and this is where in the next few days we need to see if there's a retaliation of the MACD potentially trying to switch over, or if it has a bounce off. If it has a bounce off, we might have some sideways trading here for over the next few days, and then another push up. You just don't know. It could be the excitement, and also to consider that these people that are taking profit up here are probably waiting, like I am, around this 10 cent mark, and you might start seeing a fluctuation of money come back in. So that's why I said you can't predict it, but what you can do is position yourself as you do on the way up, doing it on the way down as well. This is my first position. This is my second one. My third one is just under the 10 cent mark. It's down here. I'll even draw it in here for you guys now. And it's literally going to be in line with this fib retracement level, but slightly under. And I'm looking particularly along this line here. So roughly around this 9.5 cent mark. And that's probably going to be my last one. If it goes down lower, I might make a manual intake. But I'm just utilizing what I've taken so far. So that's what I'm doing. So they're the 3 or 4 options here. And I know it sounds a bit vague to have 3 or 4 options, but that's all I can do, because I can't tell you right now, oh yeah, this is definitely going back up again, or this is going down. No one knows that. You have to play the market day by day, even on an hourly session if you've got that much time on your hands. But for me, I'm just going on data, I'm going on historic information, and I'm going down on what's been working for me for the last 2 years. So that's where I'm putting my buy orders in. Let us know what you're doing in the comments below, ZIL. Are you still excited? Did you take advantage of this gigantic rise up? And what are you doing on the way down? Last points to make here before I close this video off. 35% up on the week, understandably. There was a lot more, obviously, earlier in the week or a few days back. 265% up on the month, 107 on the 3 months. The year, as in from year last year, is still down, but very much reduced itself significantly. So these numbers are going to do a good job of trying to pull us up as much as we can and keep ourselves hopefully stable at 10 cents. That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? But yeah, for sure, it could be that that's too fast, because we were in a market here of around 3 to 5 cents for such a long time. To shoot from there to 20 cents is massive. So we just need to be cautious. But guys, we're going to wrap that up there. Very, very cool project. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next ZIL update, hopefully in a few days' time. We'll see what's going on. Ciao for now. Bye.